Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, Doc.
Yeah. How are you guys? Adna, how
Hello,
are you?
I'm doing well by God's grace. I hope you're also fine.
I'm doing well, just that I'm tired. I just went to teach and I have to drive back home and start the class with you. So, yeah, but I think we'll be well. I think everything will be fine. Sure. Jennifer, how are you? Jennifer,
Hello, Doc. Yes,
how are
Doc.
you?
Fine. A little bit under the weather.
Oh, why? I went to check today, or
No, I couldn't go.
you didn't? Why? Because
Um, I'm not feeling so well today, so
you're not feeling so well. Oh,
yeah.
fine. Is it Moses?
Yes, Doc.
How are you?
I'm fine with Doc and you.
I'm fine. But Moses, I want to ask you a question. Why,
Yes, sir.
eh? Why Moses?
It's my grandfather's name. Oh.
Your grandfather's name.
Yes, sir.
Any other man
But by force. I'm saying,
by force. Because no, my brother is called Samson. Now, last time I asked him why Samson, I then I'm a father. Me don't want Samson. Eh, But well, my name is Isaac, so Charlie.
yeah.
Say that that's a guy kakra.
My brother is also Isaac.
Your brother is what?
Isaac.
Isaac, the at least. What Isaac you can even buffalize it and make Ike. No.
Ike.
But Moses there. Hey, hey. Mo.
And it's
Okay, that's just by the way. Thank you very much for joining me. Today, the intention is to do 3 units, which I think we can do it. I think we can do 2 units within 1 hour or 30 minutes. So it's not that. There are some few things that I wanted to touch on, then I explain the rest. Uh, so I think you can do it on your own. And after next week, we will do our first quiz during the week. So that is that. And I get the sense of when it comes to this distance learning, the hours when they say from 1 to 5:30, it doesn't mean that every one of them or every unit, every minute must be used to teach. I had a sense that there can be some hours that for you can use to do your assignment and do stuff. So uh, I'll do the traditional lecturing, of course, but note that we are not exhausting all the hours for the traditional lecturing. Okay. So just bear with me as we go through some of these things. Yeah. Is David around? David Brown. Evans. Okay.
Doc, I'm around.
You're around there.
Yes, please.
So how do we check attendance? How do last time because this one is very important to me. How do I check? Because now they are 21. We are supposed to be 29 or 30 or so. At
We,
least it's
we can
okay.
we can get it from the school who scheduled the call.
Uh, it's
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
Okay.
When they go to zoom.us, they can download
Okay.
attendance.
Okay. Thank because I will need it when I'm marking the things. Yeah, some people they will just be there and okay. Yeah. So Let's start. So last week we talked about the energy systems, the grade, the off grade. I mean all those things. So today we are shifting attention more to the how do I put it? The people, the individuals, the demand side of the question or demand side of the issue. So we are looking at factors that influence the energy used in the off-grid setting. So here, your mind should go to the off-grid, not the main grid. Of course, there are some applications you can do here and there, but know that your mind should go to the off-grid setting. And now, if I say off-grid, you understand. You are talking about the distributed renewable, distributed energy systems, the ones which is not tied to the grid. So that is what we're going to have today. And we are looking at the energy end users of the off-grid settings. We also use that a multi-tier framework, which is very, very, very important to me. The multi-tier and the MTF for energy as the second, but it's really, really important. I don't see myself teaching this course and even asking you questions without asking about multi-tier framework. Almost every year, a question around that will come. So I'm telling you beforehand. Those of you who have been asking how is the exams going to be and those things, I'm telling you beforehand. Questions now, so the MTF is very, very important. So I will take my time to explain that section. Okay. Then from there we move to the socio-economic and cultural factors, which I won't spend much time on, but I think it's quite self-explanatory. So when you read it, then we go to the method and tools for community engagement. I'll just be brief on it, and we go to socio-economic factors and enablers. Yeah. Right here. So, but before we move on, as I normally do, you take your phone, you just scan, then you answer the question, and then just to set, something for us to move on. So, what energy challenge affects you or your household the most? What energy challenge affects you or the most? Is it the prepaid or the bills? That is a problem. Some people, bill is not a problem. They have money, they are working, so they can just buy. Is it some people to maybe might be the low voltage? Also BBI and so is it power outages or any other issue that you think is that you can put it on other? Yes, I'm seeing low voltage. Power outages. Hey. So prepaid wahala. Nobody is having an issue with the prepaid. Low
Doc,
voltage.
I have that issue with the prepaid.
You have
In
issue.
2020.
So you vote there. Then when you start discussing, then you when I call you, you talk. But it's the most. So the point is that you can have 3 or 4 problems, but which one is the most? Then how you think about which one is really much of a concern to, because I know that there are some people they don't have issue with low voltage. There is much of power outage. Some people they don't have issue with power outage and low voltage, but prepaid, a causes you. So whichever way you just So only 7 people. We are about 21, Charlie. Adam Mubufu and accommodate. Power outage, low voltage. Yeah. Okay. So the somebody was talking about prepaid. What's your problem? What issue? What issue do you want us to know? What is it?
So, Doc, so I bought the prepaid, the deduction and everything went through, but I never received the credit.
You
I
didn't receive
follow
the
up.
credits.
Yes, it never came. I called MTN. MTN confirmed the money has been sent to ECG. I called ECG. ECG said the thing is being handled by a third party. So there is nothing they can do about it. To date, I have not received that money.
And who is that? Which company is the third party? Haptel.
Yes.
Hey, enemy, I have to stop using them.
To date.
For me, I used it, but I've stopped using to date.
Well, I follow up and I was even spending money on that issue more than, so it's better I forget about it and live my life.
But Haptel, do you know their office? You can go there, or
No, but it
and
doesn't get it.
I Germany,
Oh, by Germany, because you spend your money, go there, and they will not
and
tell
it's
you
even more
anything.
than
It's even, yes, the
and
stress
that
you
is
will go
something,
through.
that is something about Ghana. That's a what you share the frustration and everything here. And you sometimes you want to see, but you look at it as a scar best spending here, where James. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
if
So
you've
I
uh
even send an email so that so when you log a ticket on their website, they will give you this thing, uh, complaint number. So I was saving all those things, but I said, oh, it's not worth it because you waste your time on all these things. And
yeah.
mm,
Last time I planned these people, Speed Duff. I think there's it's a courier
yes,
company.
another useless company.
I bought something from China from and it went there and they said they called me, they couldn't hear, so they've returned it back to the site. I mean their whatever site. I followed up and then for like 3 months. Then later I realized that they said they can't find it and I call even sometimes when I call and I
When
look
you
at the
call
thing,
them, they won't pick your call.
I wanted to
They
see
won't
them.
pick your call.
I wanted to see. I actually started talking with one of our one of my friends who is a lawyer. Then yeah, look at the way things were going. Charlie Mefare in I said, this is mean be to her and person be dim was you know that kind of stuff. And I just said my but me try there na me jegum me jai or my fa. And that is something that is happening. The system in such a way that you get frustrated and you get. I don't know if you've heard about a man, I think some guy, but I've forgotten his name, who sued GCB or I think EcoBank.
Mm.
And he has been awarded some huge sums of money.
Yeah,
Be minimum
Daniel Ofori.
Daniel Fori.
It was
Then
EcoBank. Daniel Ofori.
It's
EcoBank.
Daniel
Ecobank.
Fori.
Yeah.
mm.
He filed a
Eh,
petition to remove the Chief Justice, the same man, I think. Or
Yeah,
eh.
the
that
same
was
So
person.
yeah.
what actually happened? Well, I saw the news, like it's just yeah, I just saw it. So what actually happened?
I think
It's about
he bought the
the
share way
the
back somewhere in
equity.
2000.
Okay.
And then I think he transferred the shares to someone, and then something like that. But I didn't really get a full story, but it was something like transfer the shares to someone, but the amount and all that. Maybe the bankers here will be able to tell us more about it.
Mm. Anybody with knowledge on that one, it'll be on Kaiser, so how they move on. Then we go and look at it next week. I just want to know, because I think that sometimes if we have opportunity to see some of these companies, not just a Kumankwa, like even small companies don't move in the moon na anka. They will take us serious. I think that Ghana we've taken it, but you look at it, why here now outside the Kwako treatment. Oh, sometimes then we just some way.
So the frustration in the process that makes people not to push forward.
He
Because if
said
you
the
don't have
solution.
money, you want to drag a case for almost 18 years.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, that is the issue. Yeah, you don't
a
have
big
money, then
deal.
you are dragging the issue. It's wow, where you are the no gym. What do I say, Mama Nyame? I think that is the issue. So let's get back here. So there are several. These are all demand issues. So by this poll, I wanted you to know demand issues, because you are going to discuss about demand assessment, like issues. We've talked about the great sector, the supply, and all those kind of things. Now we are going into proper as in the end users part. What are some of the issues again? You can realize that sometimes it's a pricing issue, the prepaid issue is the low voltage, the power outages, and other issues that you can. Yes, anybody who said the order, like what is it? Somebody voted
That's
order. I think
power
uh,
fluctuation.
fluctuations. As in,
Yeah, not stable. So
uh,
certain times it comes up and then goes down. So it's up and down like that.
no only low voltage a year, and
It's mostly not only low. Okay,
low
sure. It's
voltage,
not just
but sometimes
one
it's
side of it.
more than yeah.
Yes, yeah. So it's gets to disturb your appliances when it's very high, your breakers and
Yeah, yeah.
other.
Okay. I get it. Anybody else? Anybody else? The demand issues like that way. We are trying to have an assessment of demand issue. When you talk, we are talking about end users. So what are some of the issues like apart from power outages, low voltage, and the fact that the fluctuates go up and down?
Hello,
Yes.
Doc.
Yeah, I'm listening.
This is Peter.
Yeah, Peter.
My issue is the network. Those who are at the
Network.
distribution side, the network, you go, they will tell you network is slow, then you go meet queue at where the vendors are. That's sometimes my
So
problem.
yeah,
Power,
the buying. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
buying. Sometimes
yeah,
it's very
yeah. I get
frustrating.
it.
When your light
Uh,
goes, you drive all the way to wherever you can find one. You go here, network issue. You go another
yeah,
place.
then
You can visit like
and
three
I
or
think
four places before
yeah, then your issue is
you
more
can
related to
find
the old
network.
meters because now the new meters you don't have to go there. You can buy it
Yes,
online. So
yes,
the
I
old
use the
meters.
old meter. The one we show the card to the meter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, 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 okay. I think I know I've seen it because the two we are using the new meter, so but we used to have that, but they should be changing it too. Hmm? It should because I realize that they are changing all these. Okay, that is also well noted. But with this, I want you to understand the demand issues. So that's where we are moving to. So let's move to the next question here. There's next question. At at the moment, which energy use is most essential in your life? Is it lighting? Is it the phone charging? Is it small appliances, fan, radio, TV? Is it productive use like you use for business, side hustle, putting, printing? For me, it's my laptop. The charging of my laptop, the appliance, the charging of my the lighting is not a problem to me. Yeah. Phone too, I think it's not a problem to me. I don't watch TV, so when I'm voting those ones, and share that radio. Who listens to radio when there is Twitter and Facebook and those things? Okay, as a fan. So look at what are some of the. Which one is the most essential to you? Which one is the most essential to you? Phone charging. One car laptop. Phone charging. There are some people they work with their phones. Everything. Their phone is their money. So if the phone gets lost, or it's off, it's a problem. So I understand. And I said they work with their phone. Their phone is money. That is why they trade, they do a lot of stuff. So yeah, the phone has to be one. Yes, anybody else? Hey, we are having phone charging power. Almost all the four people have voted. We need a phone. Mm-hmm. Yes. Small appliances. Okay. Lighting. Yeah. Yes. Mm. Yeah, you see the business people. Half in the business financial say voting. There are some people, Charlie. If the light goes off in their business, it's a problem. Or more high side has to be or more yakra Honda use in the power. I know some of you are when I asked some if you know so or not there upper there was in the side house in way in the phone so it's like that. So it can be your phone, then which means that you have to charge. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, printing is a okay. So these are also what the end use. The end use are so much. Yeah, we have the most essential ones to you, all those stuff. Yeah. Mhm. Mm. Okay, let's move to the next. I think with the next one. rank your top daily energy needs from most to the least important. From most to the least important. Keeping your phone powered. I know those who chose phone charging will rank that one first. Is this for cooling? Maybe phone also sisu. For me, the number one is my laptop. It has to be charged. That one there. Number two is the fan. Either my AC has to be on or the standing fan because I can't sleep in it. I don't like it. And three, internet. I mean, even the internet comes first. So the internet and the laptop and basically they are the same. Uh-huh. So the internet comes first. Charging of my laptop, all those can come. Then the cooling and the rest in the cooking here in there, I can use gas. So let's see which one is leading now. Keeping your phone powered. Those who don't like it, those who can see different, they are ranking there. So I have 13 people, 4 people have done it. Let's get and see. So with this class, the little poll that I did will let me understand that most of the undergraduate students in economics, those who are doing economics informatics, which one is the most important for them? This is a small poll that I want to do. Keeping your phone powered. Cooking. Man for choose cooking. Cooking, they say, okay, entertainment. So cooking is last. So entertainment, the games consoles. I want for PS5 one. Bismarck, coffee.
Dog,
Yeah. Have you voted? Have you ranked yours? Or you are
no
still in the
dog.
process? You know,
I am with phone with so
I find it very difficult.
yes, please.
But so tell us, how would you rank your own?
Internet.
Internet first.
Then phone will follow.
Phone will follow.
Yeah.
But the trick, have you seen the trick? The trick also is that some people will tell you that their phone also has this internet where they can, I mean, hotspots, that kind of stuff. So
Yes. But I have been using
the router
router
and the
mode
Wi-Fi.
at the app.
Understand? I get it. In my house, we use Starlink, and if it goes off, and I have some with a phone, I have some. In my area, the network is really bad. So normally when I go home, yeah. But in Accra, it's okay. Okay. Enoch.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
good
Have you
afternoon,
finished
Doc.
ranking? Afternoon. Have you finished ranking or
Oh, Doc, I just joined though.
you just joined? What are you doing? Eh? Okay, so which one of them,
Jeez.
in terms of ranking, how would you rank yours? The one you need most to the least important in your daily life.
Doc, I'll go for AC.
You go for AC. I said, I'll go for AC. Why? Your phone, no.
Oh, Doc, the phone, if it's there, it's rather takes time and attention.
Call you, your phone and everything. You go for the AC, You can't sleep in heat, eh?
I prefer to do without the phone rather get the fan or AC.
I get it. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, this is something I want us to understand. When you say end use of energy, these are some of these things. Like, yeah. So, I initially or I intentionally wanted you to answer so that when they say end users, or end use of energy, your mind will not be like, yeah, it's basically these things. Okay. So, let's move on to the main. So, the energy end users and off-grid settings. So that would be the first thing that we would look at. So yeah, we said the energy end users in off-grid settings are individuals, household, businesses, and institutions. So anytime you hear energy end users, know that we are basically using at end, I mean the individuals now use energy, no. Again, so it's simple as that. It's just a big word. So energy end users are in the off-grid settings are individual household, businesses, and institutions that rely on alternative energy use, such as solar, rather than centralized grid. So yeah, energy end users are this, but in the off-grid setting, there are people who rely on the alternatives a lot. And I told you that energy is having access to energy is no more a luxury; it's a necessity. And if the grid is giving you problems, try and find alternative. Okay, so any alternative that you find which is not tied to the centralized grid is an off-grid setting, and you are an end user in that sense. Okay, yeah, so have that thing in mind. So energy needs and demand. So when you talk about energy needs and demand, in this sense, we are looking at in the off-grid communities, it varies based on socioeconomic factors and what, such as income, occupation, and household. So the demand for these appliances, sorry, this energy, we are saying that it varies, okay, and it's based on what economic factors such as demand and also social factors too. Yeah, so something that you need to get in mind. And now, having understood this one is one of the most important part I want you to just when it comes to these end users, the World Bank needs us to understand as far as energy is concerned, they are in tiers. Okay, so they develop a framework to arrange and bring these individuals into tiers of 5. Okay, so you can have access to energy, but if it is not reliable and affordable in a certain point, you can be categorized under a particular tier. There are some people that don't have it at all. There's no light post, nothing. Those are what the tier 0 people. Okay, so let's start from the multi-tier framework, the MTF, what it means and what are the various categories and the thing, because it's very, very important into this discussion. So the multi-tier framework or the MTF is a tool developed by the World Bank to assess and what measure the levels of energy access, particularly in the off-grid and what underserved communities. But in this sense, let's look at what in general sense what we mean by this multi-tier framework. Okay. So we are grouping the various people who have access to energy into tiers. Okay, and it's developed by World Bank, and they have 5 tiers. So the tiers of energy that they have or they categorize is what from tier 0 to what tier 5. And sorry, it's in 6 tiers. When it comes 0 to be part, so it will be 6 tiers. So from tier 0 to tier 5. So what you need to know for this subunit, which is very important, and I've told you already, and you have to make note and put it down, that you need to know what the multi-tier framework is. If you know what the multi-tier, what are the various tiers and how do you categorize them? And that's what we are discussing now. We have the tier 0 people. The tier 0 people have no access to electricity. Strictly doom. They don't have any hope when they wake up to charge their phones and whatever. There's no charge, nothing. Those are tier 0. Okay, no access to electricity. Are you getting it? Yeah. And we have tier 1. So the tier 1, they have minimal access. And this minimal is just enough for basic lighting and phone charging. So when you go to some of the rural areas, they have some small solar beer. They just get to charge their phones. Okay, and some basic lighting be asa. the access that they have is too low for you to even power fridges and those kind of stuff. Okay, so we call those people what? Tier 1. Then we move to the tier 2 people. So according to the World Bank, the tier 2 people are people who have a little bit of reliability on to even add a little bit of what appliances to it. So it's not just the tier 1, which is minimal access, where it is just basic lighting and phone charging and those small wattage and those. Now they've moved a little bit where they can add appliances, especially in the home systems. Okay, so they can power some radio, some fridge, and other stuff, TVB, and so those are the tier 2. So it's more reliable access for additional source. When you check your news, it has been explained. Okay, so the fan and those things. Then we move to tier 3. So for tier 3, we are looking at those with access to large appliances like refrigerators powered through more reliable energy sources. Okay, so these people that moved a little bit where there's an increase in the power that they are getting, and the reliability is also a little bit okay. Okay, yeah. Then we move to tier 4. Tier 4 is nearly full access. What it means is that it seems that these people are 24/7, but once a while be then phone kakra, and there's no low voltage. Everything is on point. They can power almost everything in the home. Just that the reliability is not there. So we are saying that it's nearly full access. It allows for more household and business use. You can use more household appliances, you can use machines and those, and it's powered by a grade or even advanced mini grid systems. Again, just that once a while, then ping, okay. Then we have tier 5. Tier 5 is full reliable access with uninterrupted energy supply from the national grid or highly capable systems. So these people, if you say mobile, you do that. The area for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. I told you I stayed in China for 7 years. The light went off twice. And that one was just that they were even have maintenance. So that time I could consider myself as a tier 5, access. As far as, tier 5 person as far as energy access is concerned. Okay. So those are the tiers that we have. And each and every particular point in your life, you can know the tier that you fall yourself. I know, and you know that all of us, at least we've moved from what tier 0 and possibly tier 1 and tier 2. Most of us are now somewhere tier 3, tier 4, but none of us is tier 5. Please, do you understand this? It's very important. So if you don't understand, let us know before we move on.
Sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Yeah, so I'm Mustafa. The tier 4, where I think most of us may be falling in. You say it's powered by a grid, but most of us are
advanced mini grid.
Because I know most of us are powered by the national grid. It's just that it's not reliable. So
it's not reliable. So, okay, go on. Afterwards, then I will continue. Yeah.
So I don't know how we reconcile because the national grid is in the 5, but it's not in the 4. But most of us are on the national grid, but it's not reliable. So.
Okay. So when you check the definition, and even in your notes, you realize that I'm careful about the wording. You say by a grade or advanced mini grade. So it can be off grade so we realize some people, they are connected to the grid, but they have a mini grid somewhere, an upgrade something, maybe a solar generator or whatever. They can have a generator, they can have a solar system or whatever system there. Immediately the light goes off, they switch that one on. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you realize that most of them, those people are the tier 5 people, and it's even automatic. Light in a call offer, then automatically it switches on. Nah, Abba. The tier 4 people are also like that, but sometimes they are not able to get the reliability is not there, especially if they are tied to the grid. And even if they have a backup, the backup is not so strong and that advanced for them to even have full access. So a little bit tricky, kakra. Tier 4 and tier 5. Yeah, something like somebody is it possible to? Yeah, it's possible to have 24/7 for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Yeah. So at a point in time, yeah, you can switch to what you can be a tier 4 person or tier 5. Are you getting it? So it's a little bit easier, but if you have full access and your light doesn't go off, you have that system, highly capable system, where when the national grid goes off, then the system comes up. Or even if you are not tied to the grid, you have a system where it is fully 24/7. So it can be in a highly capable system or a highly capable system. You can combine the two, a hybrid, national grid tied to it. You also have a system as an alternative. Or you can equally go straight off grid, mini grid, where you're not tied to the system, but you have 24. The most important thing is 24/7. The light does not go off. So reliable. Tier 5. Tier 4, yes, either tied to the grid or the two. We have also a mini grid or off grid somewhere, and the light goes on with them, but it's not so, reliable as compared to the tier 5. Yeah, no, I don't know if I'm getting yes, Enoch.
Yeah. I think it's clear.
Yeah, so don't focus so much on the technicalities of the definition, but know how the most important thing is reliability.
24/7, 365 days.
Yes, 365 days. And the point is that I can be here now, this month, which means 24, everything. So tier 5 full. But who's the next maybe month? What's my reliability? Then you are in tier 4. You are not that. I get it. So it is the timing. And also somebody was calling me.
Yes. Doc, please, what I just want to also verify is it that in explaining this tier framework, are we going to just focus on the off-grid system or a combination of the off-grid and the central?
A combination of the off-grid and central. Now, yes, just that because I'm talking about alternative, but when the tiers were developed by the World Bank, yes, they develop it as a way of us understanding the off-grid and the mini-grid system. But some people try to, so can you say that they are not? No, so it's about everything, about energy access. So it's not just off-grid alone or tied to the grid. If your system is in such a way that, Charlie, you don't have access, no light for nothing, you are tier 0. So what I say, and there are communities like that. Was it last week? I think I saved it. I saw is it a TikTok video or Facebook video? Afinomania light. They just got light last week or 2 weeks. So which means that you wanna like soon can be. Are you getting it? Oh, but even in that community, you might find one beer or no one a small solar B. Yeah, but as far as the whole community is concerned, it's a tier 0 thing, nothing. No, they don't have any alternative, no solar system or whatever. Neither do they have even the grid. You are tier 0. Then you come to tier 1. These people, they can be great or it can be whatever. But most of the time, tier 1 for your grade, you realize that they have some small solar, whatever they can use to power their phones. And the most important is access. But this access is into what? Reliabilities. The one which is reliable, no, like everything 24/7 voltage in same BNE for you at tier 5. I get it. So I know it's a little bit easier, but I think it's also very simple for you to answer. So you read your notes and you get the explanation.
Doc,
Sometimes the words, yeah.
Please, if maybe I have a plant in my house, and then once the light goes off, the plant kicks in automatically.
Automatically.
Where will I fall? Yes. Will I
You
be
are,
in the tier 4 or tier 5?
you are tier 5. 24 automatically. So you have not even seen light off before, or no. Me who say missing canumpo. If you maintain that, because you have alternatives, and that alternative is highly capable in such a way that when the light even goes off, na aba, open BBI with me here with the light. So what you say? But immediately it
Yes,
gets
sir.
to a situation where you have that system, but it's advanced though, but it's not highly capable. To the extent that, that sometimes we sparking generator no kra do I am I feel the a road deal. Not like what the light I mean what the movie 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Charlie, you are not tier 5, you are not full, you are nearly full. I don't know if you are getting the point I'm trying to establish here.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
But tier 5 in Ghana, a bad
And the I make an tier 5 one.
And sometimes even in banking halls, honey doom lighter. It doesn't
It takes time, Kakra.
it doesn't come
Yeah.
automatic like there's some answer. Sometimes you have to wait for them to go and work on the genset and all before it comes up.
Gensets.
So,
But there are some
that-
banks, there are sometimes they can experience tier 5. Because at that particular time, their system is highly capable. Yeah, I know of a banker, light in the call for an hour. But it sometimes also develop some fault. It's me chance but the other time na almost a person no move about tier 4 or 1 year. So it's a matter of access. Yeah, so yeah, you don't otherwise research when we say no bank in Ghana here, and I say no company in Ghana here experience that. I think there might be. I don't know, dear, but maybe we can
Dog,
we
people
can do.
even have it in their homes. So
People have. So
people even have
yes,
it in their homes.
yeah, people have, because there is a place. I don't know those of you know my service T Junction. To all call a year, Tabora Kwan or so something. There's a house there. Me who say like a call of that. And when you from my area, me too many solar system on the roof.
Hello.
So some people will have, yeah, it's possible.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah.
There is also one white man here. He traveled way from abroad. And our best share 15 region, oh baby. Now, Doc, in fact, Okohono, classy to his family.
Classy to, but or an upgrade.
Now, on one off grade, ni be there intact. The bow hand from Moko school or Germany. Ye be
Yes.
And everything is online.
Yes.
Manual. I could have and that place is a typical village, Ankasa.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah.
So, yeah.
There are some
So
people like those people who are building some advanced system. The person is off grid, but it is every day there's light.
24/7.
Yes, there's light. And it's possible. Some people experience that. Yes. Some people, it's coming, just that it's not that rampant. But Charlie, I think Ghana, I'm out for, yeah, people are getting there. But maybe the answer may be what tier 3, tier 4, no? If tier 5 in the million do. The tier 4 no graph in us, yeah. So the very fact that you don't have a very highly capable alternative sometimes the grid goes off and still you experience some 30 minutes be 1 hour be even if it is 5 minutes you want access then you are not a 5. The thing is access. Time now person the charge your phone, time now person the year when then Charlie, you are not, it's off. We are not tier 5. Okay, so it's yeah. So you on it when the question comes like that, you just explain your own understanding. And yeah, but I'm telling you beforehand. I'm telling you before right now you have one question there. As to whether it's 10 marks or 20 marks or 5 marks or 3 marks, you don't know. But I'm already telling you, it's very, very important. and understand that they are tiers. The fact that they are light poles, transformers, doesn't mean that you have access to energy. And that's the most important thing. And that's why the World Bank came, because they developed the concept in and say, they are so country. Ghana right now, energy. Last time we were debating on it was like 86% as in 2021 or so. Now maybe 90% there. That is energy access. Are you getting it? But how reliable it is? In what tiers can we categorize ourselves? Are you getting it? So it's not just about having access and that the light posts are there and people are there. No, it's about also the reliability of it. And that's why this tier is very, very important. And I can tell you for a fact, most of us, we are ranging from tier 3 to tier 4. Tier 3 to tier 4. Most of us. Just few people in Ghana here. Ebetimi aka betimi aka say tier 5 omo pa they say omo per light omo enya light for their own thing. And any more question? Anything? So a small pool viewer. Which MTF tier do you think your own home falls into? Obia, everybody. I just want to do a very small pool. Pool here. Is it big? Is it tier 0, no access at all? Is it tier 1? Or tier 1 to 2? So we have tier 1 to 2. Basic access, more reliable access for additional small appliances. Is it tier 3? Access to larger appliances via more reliable energy sources. Or tier 4, nearly full access, allowing for the which. Yeah, let's do it small, simple. Yeah.
I'm using my phone, so it's difficult scanning, but
to scanning. Okay, so you can talk. Yeah.
4.
Tier 4. Yeah. Most people tier 4. The tier 3 is a special places and low voltage. Most people in the so there are some tier 3 people. That one
because I use solar where I am. The power is not so reliable, so
you have an advanced system, a system which at least
solar, but it's not really an advanced system. So
yeah,
even when the light goes off, the grid goes off, I experience some
sometimes
before the solar comes on, and even the solar doesn't also keep too long because it's not
too long.
so.
So you are tier 4. You are not full access. So that is it. So you have the system is there, but not so advanced to the extent that Charlie. Sometimes the solar no wɔ hɔ, but you walk around to me fan power no maybe. There are some people they have a highly capable system. A power be AC when the light goes off, and that one 24 is highly reliable. I get it. Then that is tier 5. So in Charlie tier 5 for how? Sure, 8%. Out of 17 people, you have 8. Tier 5 for Charlie. You have the tier 4. Okay, yeah. So the last time when I did the same thing, we had people tier 4. The tier 4 was really tier 4. Yeah. And when last 2 years, most of the people tier 3. That was the time. No, last 2 years, then doom so be a chassis or and last year, second cohort or take I've forgotten the doom so na chassis or hop near most of them were choosing tier 3. Yeah. But now, no, dear, I think the tier 4 is winning. And okay, that is just by the way. Okay. So here is the note. The multi-tier framework is not only an energy classification system, but also a framework for understanding customer segmentation in energy access markets. By knowing what tier a community falls into, marketers can. So this one is more for marketing. So you don't know. But know that if you understand the tiers, you will know how. If you're a business person and you want to market or you want to sell your product or you want to enter into a business in that area, you have to know the tiers before I mean going into it. Wakwa kunya kura bi ase. Na so the also also kwa akoton yi wo phone. But omu nyina so bi a tier 0 omu ni light there. You get yourself nothing. So you just look at the tiers and see how you as an entrepreneur or whatever. So that's just what the do. So the companies like Ankrah has used MTF data to promote pay-as-you-go solar system that align with energy tier one and tier 2 household, ensuring market efforts make real demand and those things. So, Charlie, just for you, as I can just know the definition and also the various tiers in the as economic students. Yeah. Now, this is the social and economic cultural factors. What you need to know is the socio-economic and cultural factors are the societal and economic conditions, okay, as well as cultural norms and traditions that influence how communities perceive and adopt energy solutions. And this one is also very important a little bit. We've come to realize that there are some places in Ghana here. And so we finished with the multi-tier framework. We finished with that. But another aspect I hear very, very important under the individuals and community demand issues, is the cultural and social issues. We've seen that some people don't even have access to energy because of cultural factors. It will shock you. There's a place in Kumasi. I don't know most people who have stayed there before, but in Kumasi, Hema Kokobi area, more when you're going your route from Santase to that, my brother stays around that, and he was telling me a story that there's a community in there. Then we were driving and we got there. We realized that that place was not tarred, right? And that place was not tarred, and where they were supposed to even put some light posts, they couldn't put the light posts there. Okay, so they had to use some kind of and he was telling me a whole story. And he says that when the contractors were working and they got there, they said that that particular stretch, they have their goals there. So it's either the contractor uses a different route or they have to pay some money for them to pour some libation or something like that. Now, contractors also na come so beno. Njono so en free or jump went to the next town. Then continue with what the road. And so when you get to that particular stretch area, now the town has grown. Ababe kankuma se wama. Sisi ano ase enibia bahunti udru wa ewe tutu ene kuruna boom. I don't know if you are getting the kind of yanji. So we realize that sometimes people don't have access to it because of cultural factors. So there are some cultural factors that affect what energy adoption and energy use. Do you know that of Ankrah area here, I heard, I don't know, that when they were building the substation or whatever, they have to pour libation. That's what I heard. They have to pour libation or something like before they can go into it. So those are cultural factors. Those are cultural factors. And we have the economic factors, income levels. Some people yes, it's not about cultural factor, but they don't have access because of income issues. So in low-income rural communities, affordability is very critical. They can't even afford to even think about if the grid is not working, then the grid doesn't come out, nothing. Okay. So cultural and social factors and all these things affect anybody especially the cultural factor. Do you know any area or community, or have you heard any community or area that it might be road, it might be
Doc,
energy, whatever? Can you share anything with me?
Doc,
Yeah.
I remember some time back, I met with some guys from Wee. And then in our conversation, they said when the Chinese who were to build the Bui Dam came to start, they only wanted to start the project, that there were some spirits that were disturbing them there. that it was spoiling their equipment. That was what the man said. So the Chinese people had to go and they got somebody from China who I think is also a spiritualist who had to come, according to them, that the person came, did some, that they sacked all the African workers out. And
before
then
they
did their, and according to them, that they captured a certain animal and they sent the animal back to China.
I won't be surprised, to be honest. Yes. I can't confirm though, but I won't be surprised because I schooled in China, so I know. Even Ghana here, I've seen some of them when they are constructing roads. They need the bypass near, is it Osino or whatever, the Kumasi road there. There's a bypass they are doing somewhere there. What time you got there, then they before they started, breaking down they put some red and everything there, pouring some EB and sana they started. So power there's some places yeah. So I know it might be true. Just I can't confirm, but it's possible. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. Yeah. Anybody else?
An experience in Wa.
Wow.
Ghana. Yes.
Ghana.
So
what happened?
So one of our booster stations, it was built around a shrine where they used to do their sacrifices.
You say shrine?
Yeah, it was close to a shrine. They used to make their sacrifices over there. So after the booster station was built, the security guards and the night shift people that were occupying the place, they used to hear babies crying, and then people knocking on spirits knocking on the doors. So they had to consult like the traditional. Yeah. One time, one of the security guards in his pants, he defecated on himself. So yeah, so we went there. There are times that we go to the border, coming back, we meet people on the way. When we get close to town, we see the same people still walking on the road. I've had an experience like that. Yes, I experienced that. We met the person on the road. We got into town. The person was walking by us. And then yes, they tell us that yes, it happens. It happens all the time. They're on the road. Those who work on the plant and then come back into town to work in the booster stations, they experience it. So after some time, they consulted the traditional leaders and they had to sacrifice about, I don't know, a number of cows. And then it went down a bit. But for about 2 years, 3 years now, we haven't heard anything like that.
I was about asking. I heard that some of these things you need to consult the traditionalist people, then they will do something for them. And hey, I won't be a security person. No.
There was one time I had to fly a drone over the place, that same place, to capture some images. Yeah. After the drone flight, I couldn't get the images. But I flew somewhere. Yeah, I couldn't get the images for that side, and I wasn't the only one who had experienced it.
Really?
So it was something I was there.
So yeah, I've heard some of these things, of course. But just coming from you, I say, I'm a Tisho Kakra.
It's there, but it happens.
Minimum say power they be or black power they minimum say. By for no minimum say be or. And the minimum say be or. But as you narrating it, then it's coming from you, it's yeah. So that was water. That was water, right?
Yes, please. Yeah, water, Ghana water.
That's Ghana. Yeah. So yeah, it happens. Yeah. So energy issues. I even heard that Akosumbo Dam they had to sacrifice some stuff and those things. But that time, now you're moving to me. I don't want to talk about it here, but I've heard. Yeah. So they are called the adoption of energy solutions, and we have also economic issues, income levels, and those things. So, and even with the culture, it's not just even this baby crying and black power and whatever being the case. There are also gender issues. So, culture is part of it. So, in many African communities, women are primarily responsible for household energy use, making them the key stakeholders in energy access projects. There was a project, when you go to most of our homes, not even most, almost all the homes, it is the women. Okay. Yeah. So if you are bringing up something that is, for instance, there was an energy access program, but that one was for them to switch from firewood to using gas and also what electric stove for the, I think it was World Bank something 1992 there. They were trying to switch, and so it's a project that they were doing, and they were training only women. They were training only women. So I remember the NGO that time, Ocom or whatever. I was young though, but I heard what they did was that they trained, and the idea was that it is women who take care of the home. So if the woman doesn't understand and I mean get the fact that they need to switch from firewood to this gas and those things are, yeah, you can't train the men. Remember, so you'll be wasting your time on that one. So when it comes to switch and access to certain things, the culture issue is also a gender thing. It's not just the traditional and those things. So we have also traditional leaders and influence. Sometimes when the traditional people, as we're saying, this black magic thing, it's the traditional people, when they say this and they pour some libations, then the project can go on. If they don't, it becomes a problem. So there are also factors that affect, access to energy. Yeah. Okay, so energy use customs and preferences. Many communities have a long-standing reliance on traditional energy sources like firewood and kerosene. That one too is that there are some customs in some place. My mom now, no matter what, she still uses firewood. Upon all years in gas, well, so she has a kitchen, of course, which is nice. But if you was a system, do you know Bochia? How many of you know that thing? That tray, is it spot or whatever they knew? And when I think I let me start calling names. Since that's another. Uh, do. Charles,
Yes, Doc.
do you know Bochia?
You I know him very well.
You know it very well. What is Bochia?
Oh,
And what is Bochia?
usually we call it a heave.
And what?
That we use firewood heave.
Yeah, maybe me feeling typical a crossing, so we used to call it Bochia. Normally, three. I
Like
don't know even the name.
three-legged this thing of a stove that we use firewood
The three leg. It was later then they started using bricks. I mean blocks. But for us, it was specially made. They do it some way, be ship it like in a form of a then. I remember. Oh, Charlie. It's like and somebody said, "Oh, Muka." Yes, James.
Exactly.
James. Yeah, Muka. So explain.
Uh, okay. Some people also call it muka. That's mukasi for jali.
Okay. So that's where we got the name
That's
Mukase.
yeah, mukasi. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And the reason why I'm making it, I remember those times I was responsible. I'm the youngest in my family, so I was responsible for we use clay and they add water to it. So every morning, then we use clay, then we will just paint it some way. Then yeah, so like then and I was responsible for that. So now the Gen Zs will not understand. So
We were ensuring sustainability.
That's them
well,
trauma.
yeah.
What can
You were
hold trauma?
ensuring sustainability.
Yeah, the Gen Zs will not understand. Don't worry. Yeah. So the point is, there are some people that my mom now, even now. So when you go to Kumasi, there's tiled, everything, the kitchen is tiled, but still, she has created some outside apatabi, some shed be outside there where she's cooking all these things. Or the ones you. So some people are impervious to change when it comes to this. So it's a cultural issue. It's a cultural issue. So you have to know that some of these things. Yeah. So another important one, undergrade, mini grade. And this one is very, very important. Undergrade, mini grades. So there's the concept. In sub-Saharan Africa, many communities are nominally connected to the national grid, but they receive unreliable or intermittent electricity. These communities, while technically grid connected, do not have sufficient what energy access to meet their needs. Are you getting it? It's like a place here. Most of us are connected to the grid, but it's so unreliable. Okay. So these communities say, while technically connected to the grid, do not have sufficient what energy access to meet their needs. So what do? They get something that will have alternative to it. So that's what we call the. So when you check your notes, it has been explained perfectly there. And normally I also ask that kind of questions there. What do you mean by undergrade, mini grade? What they explain those kind of things. So in Nigeria, where many communities experience unreliable grid power, undergrade, mini grade have been proposed as a solution. These mini grids can provide reliable power for households, schools, and small businesses, filling up the gap left by the national grid. Okay, filled by the national grid. So that is that, and all of us we know. Yeah, you can go to some small businesses. It's becoming, in Nigeria and Wapa, but in Nigeria they use they don't use renewable. Most of them use generator. Into a year, I know in small, you be fill the gap that is being provided by what? That is not being provided by what? The national grid. So it's just like having an alternative, a distributed renewable, a distributed energy system. So that is it. So that's what they call the undergrade, mini grid. He's under the grid, but it still has a mini grid to what support the issue. I think this one has been done. So example is that, so this is I think from Nigeria, one of the shops in Nigeria, I think is a welding shop or whatever. It said despite distribution lines that is connected to a shop, brother Umulikan Idowu ran 2 diesel generator to keep his business open. So this is purely undergrade mini grid. This is purely undergrade mini grid situation. And that so understand the concept. So it's a technical, when I ask undergrade mini grid, should be able to what say it and all. And we have methods and committees of engagement. Please, this one just read. It's not that. So in case you want to enter into a community and engage, how do you? And this one is more for how do I put it? If you want to make data, if you want to take data outside, if you are being told to go and collect data, and how do you go? But yes, of course, we are for your own. I think in the 4th week, I'll give you a project where I'm going to collect data, but we have already provided an Excel sheet you have to go through. So this one, just know some of the things. So normally I don't ask questions. I ask multiple choice questions, but I don't ask questions on that. But what are some of the methods and activities for community engagement? So there are many activities engagement methodology and developers disposal, right? The main ones are summarized as below. So there can be public meetings. If you want to engage with the community, how the public meetings, workshop and focus groups, okay? It can be forums, it can be roundtables, it can be village power communities. So these are the various methods that you can help to get. And what are some of the tools you can use to collect data or you can use to, help in terms of energy issues? We have something we call the COMET, Community Energy Toolkit. It's very, very, I went to Rwanda, no, this Kenya, I think 2 years ago, and they made us use it. It's very, very important. Not that important, it's very interesting. Let me put it that way. So it's a specialized to design to help communities understand and engage with energy solutions through simulations and interactive decision. So for them, they connect this and then they will give the desk, a tablet to all the individuals, and they begin to tell you to start punching. So you realize that on the tab, there's something like a home, and they will ask you, do you fridge in your home? If yes, then you click on the fridge. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. But just know that's one of the tools that you can use to watch. Okay? And we have Kubo. So there's a method and there's a tool. Just go through and important. So that is that. And we have the socioeconomic enablers and barriers. What are some of the things that enable? So the socioeconomic enablers and barriers refers to the various factors that either support or hinder electricity community engagement. Yeah, so what are some of the things that help? What are some of the things? Just go through. Yeah, it's not that important. Yeah. So I think you can. What is one thing about your personal energy experience that I think we can go on later? So that is for Unit 3. That is for Unit 3, and we are done with Unit 3. Let me give you guys 5 minutes, then we'll come back to Unit 4. So 3:52, we will start with Unit 4, please. Yeah.
Well noted, Doc.
Yeah. Okay. Let's come back. This one I will use the notes itself to teach, and it's what I need from you on that part is very, very simple. Even though the notes establish a lot of thought. So the 4 and 5 are basically the same, but a little bit difference in it. And I will explain that one so that and we talked about the end users, you talk about the demand side. Yeah. But let's move to the financing aspect of it. That aspect is the business models for the energy access. So when I say business model for the energy access, we're basically trying to uh, uh, understand the financial, operational strategies that we can use towards get access to energy or to make energy accessible, affordable, especially off-grid areas. So, what can the end user do, or how can the end user put in place financially to make sure, or what can you put in place to make sure that the end user has access to what energy, and that is why the business model is concerned. Okay, so it's we are looking at the financial and operational strategies that we can use to make energy solutions accessible and affordable to a place. So, and for instance, when you look at Ghana here, the reason why people are not into this solar and weather because it's very expensive. It's very expensive. But when you go to other areas outside of Ghana, especially when you go to even the US, I know of a company who stores or solar for people in the off-grid settings. So they put some strategies in place to make sure that people can afford. Okay, and that is why the business models are concerned. So, what are some of these business models, strategies? What are these strategies that people put in place that the end user can have access to energy? So, number one, we have pay as you go. Okay, pay as you go or rent to own. So, with the pay as you go, it's one of the most popular that I've come to, but not popular in Ghana here. Okay, it's popular in renewable energy sector. So with this, the customers mix more regular payment, often via mobile money. It's very predominant and very pronounced in the Eastern African countries, Kenya, Uganda, and this. So there's a company called Mkopa. Well, so I think they do that. So they make small regular payments, often via mobile money, okay, towards the cost of the renewable energy system. It can be a solar, can be so over a period of time, once all the payments are made, okay, they own the system. So the company will come and fix everything for you. Then you go into agreement, then you begin to pay small, until you're able to pay for the whole system. Then you own it. Okay, so that is what we call the pay as you go. Okay. Now, the second one they call the leasing and the power purchase agreement. So with that one, under the leasing agreement, the customers lease. So the leasing that so you lease the renewable energy equipment such as solar from the provider, and you pay fixed amount fee. Alternatively, the PPAs involve a third-party developer to install and maintain the renewable energy system on customer's property, with the customer agreeing to purchase the generated electricity at a predetermined rate. Okay, so that is the mix. So this one is like form of like a lease. Are you getting it? That is something that also done. Then we have the fee for service, and the fee for service model, an energy service or company, what we call the ESCO, retains the ownership of the energy system and provides energy services to household or businesses for recurring fee. For them, it's just providing of service, and you pay the fee. Okay. So the company is responsible for maintenance operation, which ensures that the users receive reliable service without the need for the upfront cost or the technical expertise. So that is one thing. So there's need for service are all business models that you can use. We also have the community-owned system. So we are community-owned. This one is more, let me say, a bigger one. It's not just individuals in their homes. So the community own models, the entire community will come and collectively will own and operate the energy system. Okay, so this model promotes local ownership, which can lead to greater community involvement and better management. So there's also a community-owned models. These ones sound a little bit abstract in your ears because it's no predominant in Ghana. It's something that you so just know that we have the community owned. Now that one is owned by the entire community, and I mean the local people own it, operate it. Their own. It's often seen in a small scale renewable energy project like solar and wind power mini grids. Then there's a special purpose vehicle, SPV. So this one is more for a project, renewable energy project, the big one. Maybe the whole of WA or the whole of maybe a particular community. We want to just build a solar system for them, which is not tied to the grid. Then a big one like that, we will need a special purpose vehicle to finance. Okay, so it's a special purpose vehicle. It's a separate legal entity, and this one is not even only for renewable energies or for energy alone. Even normal contracts. I've heard that even this expressway, Accra Kumasi Expressway, they are going to use a special purpose vehicle or something like that. So with that one, what they do is that they have a separate legal entity. They form a company and they create that to carry out the specified the project. So it allows for different stakeholders, such as investors, project developers, and everything to invest or participate in the project. And they do that just to minimize the risk involved. So they will set up that company. That company is limited and everybody should invest, and the money they use towards they will start with the budget. So if anything happens, it's separated from the owners. Those people who study with business management in undergraduates, limited liability in that. So for projects like that, we have a special purpose vehicle. An example is the Japan Royalties Limited. It's a special purpose vehicle in Ghana. It's a pure good royalty company that incorporated in 2019 by the Minerals Investment Fund. So you can read something about it. So that is just even in the gold and those sector. When it comes to projects, the energy sector can also use the same special purpose vehicle to finance a project and make energy is accessible to people in the communities. Various business models like the business model in the DRE sector. That's what we mean by it, and mention some of them. Okay, mention some of those, state some of them. Okay, so you can maybe state 3, what is this, and state 3, this and that. Have to provide. When we have the business model canvas, and this one, I'm still thinking because that one is very, very important for the marketing students. So I stress much on it, but if you know, it helps. Okay. So with this one, it's very, very simple. And we are not going to go into all the icon, but just know when you say the BMC, business model canvas, what it means. So with the business model canvas, with this, you think of it. You think of it as like a one-page storybook. Okay. That explains exactly how a business make money. Okay. It's like a visual framework explaining how a business can create value and make money or something like that. And yeah. So it's some way, but it's very, very simple. So if, for instance, if you are starting a pure water business or maybe a lemonade business or something like that, okay, then you can't or you couldn't just buy the lemonade and hope that everything will be well. You need to figure out, how do I even put this? You need to figure out who is thirsty, how you want to, reach them, what makes your drink or whatever the drink you are putting on, what makes it even special, and how to even make profit. something. So it's not a matter of just trying to just set up the business and all of a sudden everything works. We are trying to look at how uh, you how the business can make money. Yes, let me put it that way. So there are 9 components that they use. So it takes into consideration 9 blocks or components that every business should have to make sure that it makes money. And these are the customer segment. You don't have to, the customer segment, value proposition, channels, customer relationship, revenues, key resource, key partnership, key structure, cost structure. Okay. So for instance, the customer segment, you're looking at it defines the different groups of people or organizations the business aims to serve. In the point that you are trying to break down the business in such a way that you have how do you make money? How do you create value out of it? You need the customers. So what is it? You need to let them know the value that you are bringing about, the value proposition. What are the channels that you are using? What is the customer relationship? All these things. So just know that there may be multiple choice, fine, but it's not that. And this is also an example. Consider Mkopa. Go through, okay? Just go through. Then 4.3 supply chain. Hey, tell more than Miss Mebreba.
Doc,
Dog, we are here. We are listening to you. We are here.
I mean, some more listen, but I said Mebreba so be a DBC. So be a DBC. Esther, how are you? Hey, Esther, no. So, now the supply chain in the DRE sector. When you say supply chain, most of you understand. Okay, so we are supply chain in the DRE sector. We are looking at the activities, resources, and stakeholders that are required to bring the energy product or what service from its point of origin to the end user. So how does this energy product move or service move point of origin to what? So this one is just simple, straightforward thing. It includes a process of procurement. So for instance, off-grid sector, DRE, distributed renewable. This one is not grid. This one is distributed renewable energy. If you want to get it in your home, you want to get solar system in your home, what are the supply chain? What are the activities that it goes through? Are you getting it? You need to procure. Okay. It has to be manufactured. It has to be transported. It has to be distributed. Installation after what change that go through. So we realize that I'm booking the components here and describe it into what. For instance, look at a supply chain for a solar home system company in the DRE sector. What do you do? It has to be manufactured. Okay, from the manufacturing, you have to procure or import. Ghana here, we don't manufacture solar panels, and we have to procure them or import them. We have to import them. Definitely import normally from Ghana. From China. Are you getting it? Then move to the warehouse or storage. It's not that it has to follow this thing. Sometimes you can just jump. But definitely there must be a manufacturing and there must be an importation or a procurement, whichever way. And you have to put it in the warehouse, which you can even jump to distribution, whichever way. But it has to be installed or deployed. And it has to be financed or money collection. In other words, you have to pay. Okay. Then there can be after sales service or support. The business, the person who's, I've seen most of the people who normally, because it is very technical, when you do the installation, you still have to have in contact with the user to make sure that if anything goes wrong, you will come back and do the maintenance and everything. So just know the description, how it was. So that's the supply chain in it. And what are some of the challenges in the supply chain? Logistical challenges, transporting components from rural areas to poor road. We have high import duties, high expertise. These are quite self-explanatory. I think is good. Then the last part of this particular unit 4 is the productive use of energy, PUE. And productive use is very simple. In unit 1, I talk a little bit about it. That having access to energy is not just about electricity, and that is so you switch the lights and you are all. It's linked to what, or connected to what? The development of the country, economic development, because there are productive use attached to it. So he said a productive use refers to the activity that utilizes energy to enhance productivity and generate income. Okay. It's just a big word, but very, very simple. Anybody who uses energy to make money, barbering shops, cold store, whatever, it's a productive use of the energy. So you are not using the energy just in your home, but you are using the energy to make income, and you are contributing to economic development. And that's what you mean by productive use and a PUE. Simple. So anytime you see PUE, productive use, it's just a big word, big phrase. We mean that energy in this sense is not just about we can also use energy to generate income through production. That is all. So below we describe the productive use energy. So it can be fee for service model, it can be community owned model, it can also be pay as you go model. So this one is quite different from the first one. The first one is how you can get access to the energy, the way you can finance it. But this one is based on, for instance, the fee for service model. In this model, energy is used to provide service for end users and customers, pay fee for each unit delivered. The energy provider retains the ownership of the equipment and everything. Yeah, so you can apply it. You can apply it. Just that the difference is that the first one is more or less like, how can I finance? What's the strategy, operational and the financial strategy that I can use to have access to energy? So, but this one is more on the productive side of it. What can I do? What are the strategies I can do to generate income? So, example, a solar-powered maize milling unit in Ghana provides milling service to local farmers. Farmers pay for fee per kilogram of grain milled, making it accessible without need for farmers to purchase. Simple. Community-owned model. So the community-owned involves local ownership and of energy infrastructure. The energy community members collectively own and manage, blah, blah, blah. Then you have the pay as you go. So it's just an application of the lease you own and all those things. So there's a case study down there, which is a comparison of which one is better. A solar mill in Ghana, okay, and the model is a fee for service. The description is there. And we also have a solar powered irrigation in Kenya. It's a community owned. The description is there, the impact. So when you compare, what's the key insight from comparison? The fee for service model is this, that. So normally nobody's going to ask you to do that. So with this one, all that you need to, I want you to understand the main ways that you can have access to energy. What are the financial strategies or the operational strategies you can use to have access to energy? That's all. That is one of the most important things that, and sometimes what is the business model canvas? Normally I don't answer, but for economists, just you ask what are the financing strategies that an individual or can use, a business can use to make you have access to energy, or an individual can use to have access to energy. Any question on this one? So for instance, there are multiple choice questions here. Which of the following best describe pay as you go? A, consumers, blah, 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 blah. 2, what role does business model? So for the multiple choice questions, Charlie, just go through, you know that all those, but for a question, this part, I'm not that quite serious about it. The most important is the multi-tier framework, the energy systems, and what we are going to discuss in Unit 6 and Unit 7. Yeah, the focus on the part. But for this one, if you know it for multiple choice, it helps. I hope you are listening.
Yes, Doc.
Hey, David, you are online.
Yeah, Doc, I'm here.
Hey. And I said that's what you late, rough. What's that? I'm worrying him because I'm the one supervising him. No, into I'm a hand son. Into the ben I'll be send day in Abano.
Look, by Wednesday, they don't sack us.
So you really to be cool. Wednesday. And I mean, I'm could defend the one. Okay, so we have short answer questions. Let's take key differences between this and that. What is the function of the key partnership block? Those questions I don't know. Yes. But for this one, just move through the multiple choice questions. Okay. And that one there, I don't know if but for the session B now, don't focus on that. So okay. So that is for unit 4. Let me do unit 5, then we'll close. Unit 5 to is basically the same as it, but I don't know another form of and also a finance, but very, very simple. So my main fan follow now in union connects 6 and 7. We finish with 6 and 7, hopefully next week. Then after next week, I'll teach you your group, then we are done. Why?
Okay.
Hey,
Yes, Doc. Yes, Doc.
and I'm more than let me start calling the names. And Michael Asari. Oh, what's about Michael? Michael is not following. Michael is not following. Or David just made the dano cry.
No, Munsiaba.
Oh, no, made the dano. Me who is that when I'm go for no. We will finish right now. I think in the next 30 minutes, I should be able to do because this one is very, very simple to. Please a moment. Okay, so this one is Unit 5, and Unit 5 is the same financing, but this one is financing for the DRE sector. Okay, so it's a build up on the previous units where we explored the energy access models, where what are some of the operational and financial models that we can make or we can use energy to make energy accessible and affordable to people or community, that. So that is that. But for this one, you are looking at financial opportunities for the DR sector companies. So this one is a DR sector company. So those of you are interested in setting up DR sector company. So the financial opportunity for DR are the avenues through which the businesses can secure funding to grow and expand their services. So the first one or the unit 4 that we discussed, note it. Why am I confused? The first one discussing is how we can make the financial and operational strategies to make to make energy accessible and affordable to the end user. The pay as you go, lease, rent, blah, 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 blah. But for this one, we are looking at how we can finance the DRE sector or a company. What are the main financial strategy opportunities that exist for a company to secure funds and grow and expand its company as far as it is a DRE sector? So please know the difference. So the DRE companies often face challenges acquiring funding to the higher initial cost and all those things because you need, if you say most of the DRE companies, they are not surviving in Ghana here. How many of you have you heard? Solar companies, It's not that. How is it like? Are you getting it?
Yes,
They are not
sir.
new. So in what way? Yes.
You're just responding.
Okay. I thought maybe you had something to say. So most of them, sometimes I think about it because I've not seen one be say, oh yeah, so it makes me wonder the kind of financing they are using. And it's very, very, very important for us to understand that part because there are several ways that these companies they finance themselves. And that's what we want to establish here. So different financial opportunities have emerged to support the off-grid companies, such as the grant. So it can be grants, it can be equity investments, it can be debt financing. And this one, more my financial moves me, but you know it. So I don't even have to explain too much. That is why in the next 20 minutes, you should be able to finish this thing. Okay. So what you need to know is what are the various approaches or opportunities that exist for those companies in the DRE sector? How can they, number one, grants and subsidies. So what is a grant and what do we mean? So grant, you don't have to pay anything. So the strength is that a grant provides funds without repayment obligation. Also enabling projects to start quickly. So with grants, you don't have to pay any thing. You get money again. But the point is that it's limited in availability. Charlie, Sky went to yeah, the chow there. And some not just or connections, it costs you a lot. Was it last week? We were working on a grant. It took us 2 years. Came forth, sir. I consult for one NGOB. Charlie, back and forth, sir, and son, yeah. I'm trying some reports be more, bulk crash. I get it. So it's not that difficult. It's not that easy to get grants like that again. So the opportunities that increasing opportunities in climate change, blah blah blah. So normally you know what it is. What is the grant? What is the strength? What is the weakness? Okay. And if you're not using grant, if they don't use the grant, another opportunity is the equity investment. So with equity, they provide significant funding without immediate debt. So with equity investment, now it's like shareholding, where you are way back. So you get people to own or have ownership, that kind of stuff. Are you getting it? So a company will come, maybe friends will come together, we will provide some capital. This person will come, you take it into shares or whatever, then we provide funding for that. So that's why we call it equity investment. So it's a form of investment where people bring their money together and they provide the funding. And this one, most of the time, is not immediate. You pay maybe dividend as time goes on or as time goes on, but it's not immediate. It's not that immediate. So, but the difficulty with the equity investment, it may reduce your control. And now you have the idea, you have the technicality and everything. But Charlie, as far as the person is bringing his money, and sometimes they start debating and start telling you what to do. And so sometimes the original ownership becomes a problem. It reduces control for the original ownership. Okay. Yeah. And we have debt financing. Debt financing, you are just going to get money from the bank or from one way. But that one is that you are retaining your full ownership. But the point is that it involves payment of interest, which can be burdensome. Okay. Yeah. For instance, we go to Nigeria, there's a company called Lumos, and they've used a mix of grants, equity investment to finance solar home system development. So it's a company which they develop solar for most of the real estates in Ghana, in Nigeria. And how they started is that they use mix of it can be grant. I think they were using grants, equity investment, and I also did I don't know, but that's the example that came up in that sense. Yeah. So is that I don't know for Ghana here. I've heard of last time I saw one company say this is what is it Ted Homes or Ted Ghana, is it Power Ghana, Solar Ghana, and Sun Power or something like that. I've forgotten their names. They are also there. Yeah, so you can maybe do your research and find out how these people are financing themselves. So that is that. So financial opportunities for DI sector projects. So now we've talked about companies, how they can fund themselves, equity, grants, subsidies, and then the next thing, the 5.2 is are some of the financial projects for the DRE project. So this is not a company, this is a project. So get it to one confuse the financial unit was how we can get access to energy, individual can. It wasn't a company issue. What are the ways that then we talked about? Unit 5, the first part is talking about the financial opportunities for what? Companies. We talk about 3. Then we are coming to financial opportunities for DRE sector projects. If you know these differences, then you're able to state them. That is all. That is all. So for financing DRE projects, there are also 3. It can be crowdfunding, impact investment, and public-private partnership, PPP. So what is the crowdfunding? So the crowdfunding is just like GoFundMe. Crowdfunding is the method of raising capital by gathering small amounts of money from large number of people, typically through online platforms. Okay, so it's like GoFundMe. So it's often used for projects, startups, and initiatives that need public support, including renewable energy ventures. So the GoFundMe in Ghana here, this will be a kidney near and son. But some people also use this, especially in the US. Crowdfunding to start, especially when they see that the thing is not so much of profit making. People contribute. Small, then they start handling the project. And then we have impact investment. So it's not crowdfunding. Another way you can use to finance a particular project is impact investment. So impact investment refers to the investment made with the intentions of generating positive social and environmental projects alongside the financial return. Okay. So this approach is popular sector like renewable, where both profit and sustainability are key features. So with the impact investment, there are some people, investors look at certain projects that they think can have impact on the environment. And then they put their money in. Okay, so that is what we call the impact investment. You look at for instance, you go to let's even shift from DRE sector. Let's go to there was okay. Let me use that. There's one guy who uses plastics to make he used plastics to make desk, like school desk, table and chairs. And I don't know if you guys have seen that guy. He's in Ghana here. Last time we had China government, he was there and he was making a presentation trying to get investors for him. But he uses plastic, just common plastics, pure water. Then I don't know how they do it, and they use it to make desk and all that stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen. So the point is that somebody can see this kind of thing and decide, oh, let me just invest because what he's doing is good. So the person will invest. So impact investment. So investment made with the intention of generating positive social and environmental impact alongside the financial return. Into being a BBA from media, but the main thing here, a co-sponsor or you will invest and you said the buyer will bring that kind of social and positive impact in that sense. So that is that for impact investment. A project. Then there can be a public-private partnership. This one I need not to explain. So with that, it's a collaborative agreement between the government and private entities. I mean, to jointly fund projects and manage the project. So in DRE sector project, PPP often help finance implement renewable energy initiatives. So know these 3 when it comes to those things. And what are some of the strengths, weaknesses, and the SWOT analysis on that one? For instance, yes, David.
Doc, is there any assessment on the profitability of investing in renewable energy in Ghana? Because considering a country that is really not buying into adopting renewable energy as compared to the traditional energy, how can we assess the profitability? Because if every investor would be considering, oh, if I invest in this, am I going to
do they
make
money? Do they make profit?
Exactly.
That kind of thing. That one there, to be honest, if I tell you I know, say there's a platform which assesses, because I don't know, I've not even seen them publishing their profit and loss.
Yes.
I mean, to be honest, the green financing sector in Ghana, I have a report that I've written for the African China Center for Policy and Advisory on green financing. And what I realized that it's an embryo stage. I finance yes, so it's not that viable. Even for the commercial banks now, out of the 24 commercial banks, it's only 6 that has the dedicated renewable energy desk. So area no, I know some I say I say new hobby be that kind of that's autistic behavior be. I don't know, but it's I can't tell, to be honest, in that I've not seen if there is a way of assessing them, because just like any other company which is a profit making, then definitely you need to publish some of these things. But I also
Yes.
get it. Maybe the mode of financing is not so much of a profit making, so that does not even allow them. Probably you're using grants to do it, and the mode of I know PEG Ghana. PEC, I don't know if the PEG Ghana, PEG Ghana, but for them, I know say it is more of grants and those things they used to do. So they don't do it as a profit-making organization. So that
Okay.
is why. But when you go to the US, Charlie, companies, multi-million companies are there into renewables and this. Yeah, then that's the EBI. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
uh, between the company and the project, if you can clarify that for me. I mean,
Company and the project.
the financing opportunities for projects, and then the financing opportunities
So
for
for
the
companies.
yeah, it's not.
So financial opportunity for companies,
I think the financing opportunities are clear, but I'm struggling to
So
differentiate.
if you're for instance, the first one, if you're a company, what are some of the financial opportunities for you to get to set up that company, which is a DRE sector? It may be a solar business. A kwan ben bit me so enya sika. Etimi den asset business. Now I expand the business, That's for the first one. That's for the company. And you can use the grant and what? Subsidies. And we said that one provides immediate. It can also be your equity investment, where people will come together, no more invest into the company, also expand the company in that sense. And it can also be debt finance. So, bit my free bank. No other setting company. It's just like you setting up a normal company.
Yeah, but sir, so
Uh-huh.
in terms of the project, is it not the same companies that are engaging
Now,
in?
so yes. So now that you've set your company, then there's a big project away, and the project here, might not be the company doing the project too. It can even be a government who is going to do a project. A project and a company are two different things.
Okay.
So what I say. So this one is general for projects. So it can be a private person wanting to do a project. So it's different. But as far as all projects are concerned, that person, for instance, there's a solar system that you want to bring into a particular community. That one is a pure project on its own. Are you getting it? So the people involved might not be companies. They can decide to use crowdfunding. It can also be a company, even though we're setting up company, Oh, we are leading this project for this community and this and this and that. Can you help? You get it. Maybe they are doing it for free. You setting up a company and how you are going to get finance to set up the company and expand. It's quite different from a project being done. It's the project that the DR project will determine the kind of opportunity that we want to use. Okay, so if it's a pure, maybe a home project, you can use crowdfunding. That one is a pure company issue. But we are talking about a big project as a whole. What are some of the opportunities that we can use to fund it? You might not even be a company.
Oh, so like a community solar system, for example.
Community solar system, for instance, yes. It's a renewable energy project, DRE project. It doesn't have to be a company. A company can come and help, but it's a project. So how do we fund it? And that's what we are trying to. It can be a crowdfunding. It can be an impact investment. It can be public-private partnership. So what you say. And so don't get confused. I know sometimes I'm here now, but setting up company, it's into public partnership. It's into DRE sector, and I say it's into solar whatever. Charlie, you can't use crowdfunding. Yeah, for crowdfunding and set up a company. We don't use impact investment to set up a company. Yes, people can invest, but you don't call that one impact investment. So as I say, we don't use public-private to set up a company. Again, what we use is either grant, equity, or debt financing. But when it comes to a project, whether it is maybe a community project, want to build a solar system for maybe for I kind of say this, a children's home, maybe in one community, want to build a solar project. Because was it last week? I told you my wife works at Doma Children's Care, and some white guys came and they asking them what do they want and those things. The engineers, do you know what they went back they do in Minnesota? The engineers came together and more money within one company. They came together, collected money, small crowdfunding within 2 months, and they bought them Starlink kits and everything and invested for them. I mean, fix it for them. So imagine if they want to do a DRE project, they can use crowdfunding. Small. I hope you are getting what I'm trying to put out. So don't get confused.
No, thank you very much.
Yeah, so don't get confused. I know it's confusing. Sometimes when I ask those questions, they say, "Nah, the confusion amount for Kakra." Then I will ask, what are some of the financial opportunities for DRE projects? Then you see people grants. Well, no. So your main thing is to look at it very well. That we have DRE company. If you want to set up a DRE company, what are some of the opportunities for you? Can use a grant to do it. You can also go for loan. You can also do this equity investment just as setting up a normal company. Are you getting it? But when it comes to DRE projects, a project there is not only companies who are into projects. It can be individual, be on more baby, non person project. So what are some of the opportunities I'll be to make use or strategies? Okay. Yeah. So and even with that one, some people can even go for loan cramp to do it. But the main ones amount for tell you super, that's what I'm saying. There's the crowdfunding and impact investment and also what public partnership. Anybody else? Yeah, to ask. Okay, so yes, that is that impact investment, the strength, the weakness, the public private. So just move through this. So there's a practical thing. Kenya solar mini grid projects have leveraged impact investment from international funds such as Acumen Fund to ensure that energy reaches off-grid communities while providing investors with measurable social impact. You can read about Acumen Fund. Okay, you can read about Acumen Fund, but yeah. Now, the latter part of this one is the financial risk for the DRE sector. What are some of the risks for the DRE sector in this? So, for risk, we are looking at risk is the probability of an event occurring that will have a negative impact on the objective. So, in the context of DRE sector, financial risk refers specifically to the uncertainties and potential losses related to financing and managing renewable energy projects. So if you are managing a renewable energy project, what are some of the financial risks involved? Okay. Yeah, so that is that. So different types of financial risks impact how different companies operate and all those things. So there can be a market risk. That's a type of financial risk. So this risk is of the changing conditions. And I normally, when I get here, I remember a guy. I don't know if I told you. The guy is in the Bruno region there. He formed a business or a company specifically to set up or fix solar for poultry farmers in the Doma environs. So, last time we called trying to find out, I think the guy is out of business because the market conditions actually assessing. So yes, that is something that you can do. The market risk is there. The market keeps on changing, fluctuations and all those kind of stuff. Because why would a person go if the light is stable? If the lights are stable, the grid system is stable, Charlie, will be a grandpoma to get a solar window gun. And so that is that. You have credit risk. Credit risk when you go for maybe a loan and you want, so the risk of customers, will be unable to pay for the energy service. So the thing is that you provide the services maybe as pay as you go, but who provide your amount, the income level is not so much that they are not even able to pay. Charlie, so that one becomes a problem. Operational risk, maintenance issues. So risk involved in the daily operations of what energy systems. So okay. We have liquidity risk, which the companies will be unable to meet their short-term financial obligations, especially for just loan. If you're not getting the money, for instance, if the market rates and everything starts kicking in, and you're not getting the profit and everything, actually liquidity risk becomes a problem. I'm going to say it's also kissing in that sense. So how do you mitigate this risk? Very simple. DRE companies often adopt diversified funding approaches. So those of you who have done financial economics and those financial management, it's the same strategies. We are applying this in the DRE sector. Simple. Okay. So in conclusion, that is that. You need to know the DRE sector for companies. What are the strategies? The DRE for DRE projects. What are the financial opportunities? Don't get confused. Okay. Yeah. And what are some of the, which of the following is a major strength of equity investment in the financial sector? No repayment of fund required, no retained, no blah, blah, blah. These are simple things you can use to what help you review. As a define market risk, all those things. But for this part, I told you, know the difference. And probably also the multiple choice questions. Okay. But for the essay, they are normally don't ask questions from here. Normally don't ask questions from here. By now, what questions in Ankrah that I can tell? Yes. And take note of this case study. David.
Doc.
Tell your friends that they should take note of this case study, okay?
Noted, Doc.
Evans.
Doc.
Tell your classmate that they should take note of this case study, okay?
Well noted, Doc.
Not that everything will come. I can modify some stuff and reduce the amount of things that you have to do. Probably not using SWOT analysis, but at least it's a nice case study. I can say something about it. So, Charlie. Okay, 4:40. So next week we will have 6 and 7, right? Yeah. So next week we have 6 and 7. Then afterwards, after 6 and 7, I'll give you notes. Quiz to do on the LMS. Okay. Then when is our last year then? I think after that, the next week we will go through your project. Okay. Are we here?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, Doc.
We are here, Doc.
If
We are
you don't
here.
understand it, actually, let's you. So next week is 6 and 7, and within that week, I will give you a quiz to do on the LMS. Then the following week, which I think will be face to face, I'm not sure, but whichever way, we will do. I'll present your project. The project too is not a small project, so I have to, explain. Then I'll give you the Excel sheet that you have to also fill to collect the data. Okay. And that one you're going to submit it. I think I'll give you 1 month or 2 or so to do that before your exams, are marked, because it is needed. So let's finish next week. Then later, the following week, we see what we do. By God's grace, we see what we do. Are we okay?
Yes, Doc.
Okay.
Yes,
So
Doc.
thank you very much. If no question, see you next week.
All right. Thank you, too, Doc.
Bye.
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 Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Doc. My name say, the ladies were not talking now. We have to thank you, Doc.